Hey everybody, I'm Becky Adams here for Stamp and Scrapbook Expo. I have a layout that we're going to create today using a fun new product from our Cool Tools workshop. If you're not familiar with our workshops, we have 3 workshops: latest and greatest stamping, latest and greatest card making, and latest and greatest cool tools. And in these classes, you will not only get to play with some of the latest and greatest products that are on the market right now, but you also get lots of products to take home with you. And the product that I am using today is called Stick It. And as I mentioned, this is in the Cool Tools class. And this is a new kind of adhesive. And I've never used this before. This will be the first time that I'm using it, but right when I saw it at Creativation, I knew that it was going to be a really hot product and a lot of fun to work with, and it will make adhering all those little tiny bits and pieces much easier. So I'm going to set this aside for just a minute while we put kind of the basic background, I guess, of the layout together. So I'm working with 2 photos today that I have mounted just on a piece of white cardstock. I wanted that white border, and I knew that I wanted my photos together, so I just went ahead and put that put those on white cardstock together. The rest of the products I'm using are from Bella Boulevard, and it's a combination of 2 collections, and I will make sure and link to both of them in the blog post for this layout, but most of it is from the Secrets of the Sea Boy collection, and then a little bit of it is from Popsicles and Pandas. They're both really fun summer collections that are also new. So I'm just going to adhere these bigger pieces. I'm going to stick with my regular adhesive because they're easy. They would work well with the Stick It. But also the Stick It, I feel like, is most beneficial for little tiny bits and pieces. I wouldn't want to use a whole sheet of the Stick It to adhere this background together. And so, as I mentioned, I have 2 photos, and we'll just adhere these using my regular tape runner adhesive as well. And I just want these not quite dead center on the layout, but in the middle, but a little more towards the top. And then right off the bat here, I'm going to adhere my journaling. And I'm just going to tuck that right under here. I just printed my journaling on just regular printer paper that was in my printer, just with a bold font. Now the main portion of my title I have die cut, and I used my Silhouette Cameo, and there's actually a couple of ways that you could use the Stick It adhesive. You can put this adhesive right through your die cutting machine. That's an option. It's got a protective layer on it, so you can just cut your letters out, and so they already have the adhesive on them. I chose to just run my letters through separate, and then I'll add the adhesive on, and we can actually do that right now. So what I'm going to do is just peel back the paper here. And this is going to be hard to see on video, but hopefully you can see a little bit stuck to my finger there. But this portion is all adhesive. It's all sticky. And I'm just going to put my letters right here And then I'm just going to put that paper back over it just so that I can push, kind of burnish that adhesive on without getting it all over my fingers. And I'll just push it down like that. I have a few bits of adhesive here on the top. And then we'll pull this back one more time. And I now have adhesive on the back of my die cut. And I've got a little bit of extra adhesive. I'm just going to take a pair of scissors. This probably isn't the best tool to do this. But I would use my paper piercer, but I don't have it right here next to me. Okay, and I'm just going to repeat that same process with each letter. Okay, so now I have my die cut, the die cut portion of my title in place. And one thing that I wanted to mention about this adhesive is that it is permanent. You do have a few minutes to move things around if you need to right after you place it, but it will become permanent. So I have just this little tiny chipboard piece that has an ampersand on it. I'm gonna put it right there. The other portion of my title that I'm going to use the Stick It adhesive for is this acrylic word. And this is also from Bella Boulevard. And I don't know if you've worked with these before, but getting them adhered to a project can be kind of tricky. So I think that this adhesive is going to be absolutely perfect. So we'll just repeat the process here. Once again, just push it down, kind of burnish it a little bit to make sure that that adhesive is on the acrylic piece. And peel that backing off. And then you'll just very carefully remove the acrylic piece because they are fragile. Okay, so I've got adhesive on the back of my acrylic piece there. And we'll just put that right in place. And I love that there is adhesive all along the back of that and it's not going to go anywhere. So now I have the basics of my layout. I've got the journaling, the photos, and the title. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of embellishment. So I have lots and lots of little bits here to add to this layout. And I wanted to create just kind of a fun, just an ocean scene here along the bottom of the layout. And some of these are die cuts. Some of them are stickers. It's just a mixture of both. I'm going to use the Stick It adhesive to adhere all of these little die cuts. I just want to make sure that I have them placed where I want them. We'll do one fish right up here along the top of the title. Okay, so I have several die cuts here that I want to adhere, and I'm just going to once again use this Stick It adhesive, and I'm just going to use the little bits that were left over from where I did my title work. Okay, so we've got this little whale. I'm just going to stick it right there under. So essentially this Stick It paper turns any sort of die cut or acrylic piece or anything like that into a sticker. Now I want to mention I do have a little bit of adhesive left around some of these more intricate die cuts. And I'm just going to run my adhesive eraser And if you're not familiar with these, I'll make sure and leave a link to this in the comment or in the blog post, pardon me. So in the video notes, there will be a link to the blog post, and over on the blog post, you can find a link to all of these products. And this little adhesive eraser is just picking up the little tiny extra bits of adhesive. And this is a product by Thermoweb. And then, so now just to finish up the layout, I have a few more things that I want to put in place. I have one more thing that I'm going to use this stick it sheet for. And I'll just pick up a little bit of these extra bits of adhesive with that. And then I'm just going to put this speech bubble right here, kind of nestled in my journaling. Actually, before I do that though, I wanted to put just a strip of washi tape. I've got kind of a lot going on down here and a lot of darker blue. And I just wanted to bring a little bit more of that dark blue up to the top of the layout. So we'll just take a little bit of this washi, put it right behind there, and now we can put this little speech bubble back just a little bit. Okay, and then there in that speech bubble, we'll just put a little epoxy sticker. This is H2O. Then I've got one more epoxy sticker. This one says Live in the Sun. I'm going to put that right here, just at the bottom of that photo. And then just to finish things off, I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. I'm going to put the date just actually right here under the journaling. Okay, and I think we're about finished. The very last thing I'm going to do is just to sprinkle a little bit of spray mist. Okay, and so with those few drops of ink, we're going to call this one finished. So thank you for stopping by the Scrapbook Expo blog today. Make sure that you take one of our latest and greatest workshops, or better yet, take all 3 of them if they're in your area. I promise that it's a class that you won't regret taking. So thanks again for stopping by. Please make sure to hit that like button if this is the type of video that you would like to see. And also, if you're new here, we'd love to have you as a new subscriber so that you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon.